So note the immediate reaction once we swept buy side and traded to the high end of new week opening gap as well. So with what we're seeing here, I'm interested to see if we can't take out this initial 930 low, because there'll be sell stops resting below those now. All right, so I'll go ahead and short it here with the idea of the untapped 930 low, and then I'll simply just aim for the midpoint of this 15-minute gap, right? So first trade idea of the day. And then also my take profit will be at the low end of this regular trading hour gap. But a little bit of drawdown. So obviously not the greatest fill in the world, but it doesn't really matter. We still have a reasonable four handle stop above the fair value gap, and then the idea is we're still shorting in premium of the range, right? And then I'm simply just aiming for the lowest hanging fruit discount array, just right around that 62% retracement. With this volume imbalance here, I don't want to see it hang around here. I want to see it steamroll past it and leave a body through it, right? And then continue on. Alright, there we go. See, we traded below it and created the body through the volume imbalance. It's exactly what I wanted to see initially. There we go. And there's going to be the sell stops here getting ready to be engaged. Now, if the sell stops were already taken prior to this small retracement here, then I wouldn't have taken the trade, but it just so happened it came down and matched that, and I wanted to see that repriced into, obviously. Alright, there we go. There's the sell stops engaged. And I'm interested to see if we can continue on to that discount optimal trade entry level. Alright, so automatically my stop's going to get lowered above this high that was formed within the fair value gap. That'd be classified as a fractal intermediate term high, and if we're looking for lower prices, you would not want to see that traded above. So that's that idea there. So risk is now a 3 handle stop, which is close to nothing. And let me put the executions up as well, so there's no secret trades being taken, alright? I'll watch other live streamers. I can just hear it in their voice. Sometimes I'll watch them and I see them. I mean, first of all, it's clear they don't know what they're doing. That's not me trying to rip on them, but I mean, respect for doing it live. But like, I'll see them take 2 losses or like multiple losses, and I'll hear it in their voice. Like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end up this stream and close up the charts. But I hear it in their voice, and I know exactly what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be closing up the stream and taking secret trades, like in a revenge trading, state of mind, and taking trades that they know they shouldn't. They're just not going to be doing it in front of anyone. So just because we tagged that 930 low, I'm going to just move my stop down a little bit more. So it's now 2 handle stop loss. Risk is pretty much eliminated, and a lot of naive people buy into that bullshit. So we did reach discount, but I still want to see that midpoint of the inefficiency reprice too, so that's where my take profit is. So stop gets lowered again. And incoming take profit. There we go. That's good enough for me. So about $350 there. Nothing crazy, but if you combine trades like this with consistency, all of a sudden you're left with a lot of money. So alright guys, just real quick, just kind of keying off what I was speaking on in that last portion of the snippet from my live stream today. A very important topic that you absolutely need to have a great understanding of if you want to amount to any type of success in this field of trading, and that topic is greed. Now, kind of just getting right into it, what exactly causes greed in most people nowadays? There's a lot of it go around nowadays. There's way more greedy people than those who practice gratitude nowadays. It's sad to see, but you see the result of our world nowadays. because of greed, right? So what exactly causes greed? So we have these 4 things posted up here. We have fear, envy, competition, and being materialistic. These 4 things are the major drivers for greed in most people nowadays. Now, these 4 things here, what is the direct cause of these 4 things? What does this all stem from? Ego. So naturally, what happens if you kill your ego? If you work on this and you find a way to get rid of that ego, it's more than likely that these 4 things will not be an issue for you. Therefore, you will not be greedy, and the markets will reward you for that. Okay. So, why would fear cause greed in most people? Well, they fail financial loss. That stop loss getting hit. They fear being at the bottom. They fear struggling. They fear being seen, putting in work when they're not exactly where they want to be yet. And they, care more about keeping up with their, whatever their image for outsiders on social media to be like, oh, hey, look at this guy. He's doing great, right? And, these fears kind of eventually manifest themselves into you actually having that loss and you not being successful, right? So going into number 2, we have envy. And this should be self-explanatory. People with envy in their hearts typically aren't the most successful ones out there, because if you really had it like that, you wouldn't be envious of, what another man has and whatnot. But especially with social media, this has really amplified this specific thing right here. And why is that? Because everyone's out here posting their highlight reels, and someone that's farther along than you see what they're doing, you see he has that watch, you see what he has, and you want that right away. You think that's realistic for you to try to pursue that right now, when you have no idea how much time and effort that person has really put in, how much work they put in behind the scenes. You don't know. Okay? So you just looking at other people and thinking of yourself less than, and you want to feel as significant as another man, you know what I mean? That'll drive you to be greedy, and that will not lead to you making anything consistent within these markets. Now, envy directly ties into what? Competition. You're competing with other people, when in reality, the only person that you're actually competing with is yourself if you're going to be successful.